Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me as always. Get ready to do this thing. Coming to you from ESPN 975, 92.5. And guys, we ready to do this thing, man. I'm coming off of a hell of a weekend. It was exciting. I was out there on the beach, relaxing a little bit. A little cold. I'm on the beach this weekend. A little rainstorm came through, but when you're in the Winnebago and it's raining like that, and you can hear the raindrops on top of the roof just beating it down. Then the wind is blowing. It feels good, man. It's a nice little getaway. So I just want to say, man, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back with the people, because here inside the Hall of Fame is all about the people, and we're gonna give it to you like it's supposed to be done. Make it all them seconds by now. How you feel, man?
I'm feeling good, Book. I mean, look, it has been unseasonably cold here in the H. I'm not a big fan of that. You know, by March time, I want a little bit of heat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta get a little color. Anyway, those winter months they're hard on me, Book. I start looking like Casper out here. You know what I mean? I need a little flavor. I look forward to the summers and the springs, but I'm good. You know what? We had a fun weekend of UFC action that I know we're gonna break down. We're in the thralls of Mania season. Are you ready for LA? Because LA is coming. We're just about 2 weeks away, 2.5, something like that.
It seems like it's coming awfully quick too. Seems like this Mania season came quicker than all of the Mania seasons before. For some reason, I don't know if it's, people say, man, when you get old, it seems like the clock speed up. Maybe maybe it has it, but I tell you, man. It seems like it got here quick, but I'm ready, man. I'm ready for it. We got a big NXT going to be showing up and showing out as well. And that show going to be starting early, like 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm going to be heading straight from there to get ready for the kickoff show for Mania. So I'm excited, man. I'm really excited about this year.
This is Stand and Deliver, right?
Yes. Stand and Deliver. That boy, Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. It's going to be good for the NXT.
Baby.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
My man Melo's got to go out there and do it. Like, I got love for Braun Breaker, but Carmelo Hayes has been somebody that as soon as I saw his name, first off, we always talk about it, or you always talk about it. And when you say something like, and I agree with it, I say we. We always talk about it. Championship name. Right?
Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes, even though Carmelo Anthony never got the title, he never got the chip. Carmelo Hayes, that sounds like a championship name. And I think that he and Braun, they're going to go out there and they're going to do something, because they've really been the two faces of this NXT reboot, right? They've been the two guys. And I think that at Stand and Deliver, they're going to go out there and they're going to do just that. They're going to deliver. And I'm wanting my man Melo to walk away with that strap.
Well, I'm hoping they go out and deliver. You know what I mean? One thing about, the business, styles make matches. And Braun Breaker's, definitely a guy that he's in his own lane as far as, he's going to go out there and he's going to do what he do best. He's not going to step outside that comfort zone. Other than lately, he's been doing a little bit of, jumping over the top rope, which I'm not a huge fan of. With that Carmelo Hayes, that boy, man, he has so much talent in it. He does it effortlessly. He makes it look so easy when he goes out there and do it. And that's the one thing about Carmelo. I say, man, I need you to get a little dirt on you. I need you to go put a little bit of dirt on you before you go out there and have these matches, because sometimes it's a little too pretty, and I need it to be raw. I need it to be grimy a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing play out. And you know what? I don't have a charge. I'm not going to be pulling for either or. I just want both of those guys to be able to go out there and put on a hell of a show for that crowd.
You're saying Carmelo Hayes needs a little bit of that thuggish, ruggish bone. You know what I mean?
Just a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Because, like I say, when he goes out and perform, it's like ballet. Everything is so on point. The timing is perfect. And the thing is, maybe I don't need him to change anything as far as that go. It may just be what I always talk about, what you do before and what you do after.
Right. The in-betweens.
Yeah. And I don't like getting too deep in the
No,
weeds.
we don't need to
If
get
you
to the
do want to
weeds.
get deep in the weeds, we're going to be having fantasy camp on Saturday. If you guys want to come by.
No, they can't come out.
Oh, you know what?
It's sold out.
It said fantasy camp is sold out. That's right. Next fantasy camp, you guys can sign up for. If you want to find out the inside knowledge about the business.
Yeah, fantasy camp sold out, guys. I mean, all 50 slots gone just like that. And it's great. Fantasy camp's always a fun time. Because here's the thing. You definitely get the weekend warriors. You definitely get the guys who've always wondered and the gals who've always wondered. But then we've been on the Reality Wrestling social media pages. You've been seeing some of the people who came to fantasy camp who went ahead and actually signed up for the school or went ahead and did this, right? And became pro wrestlers, pro athletes. Roxanne Perez, one of them, right? AQA was one of them. Maddie Rinkowski, Danny B, Zach Mason. Was Cam Cole a fantasy camper?
Cam Cole.
I think Cam Cole was a fantasy camper. I mean, a lot of those guys came in that way. It's been a great pipeline for people to test the waters before they go all in.
Yeah, like you say, the weekend warrior, but like you said, 50 slots, man. It's the first time we've actually had 50 under the roof at one time as far as fantasy camp goes. It's going to be pretty awesome. I want to know, how many is going to last? How many are we going to have at the end of the day? That's the test right there. That's the ultimate test because it's called fantasy camp, but it's really reality camp at the end of the day. But one thing about it, if you always wondered about testing yourself, this is the perfect way to test yourself. Because if you can make it through this 5-hour day, you could just about do anything. That's the way I look at it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You can definitely do it, man. I mean, and the thing is too, a lot of our compatriots who've come through fantasy camp over the years, some of them they don't make it all the way through.
Oh no, we got the bucket.
I was about to say we better have a couple buckets.
We got the can. You know what I mean? The restroom is not that far away.
Can.
I always talk about the one guy that came to last fantasy camp after about 15 minutes. He goes, Mr. Booker, I'm not gonna waste your time anymore. I'm gonna leave now. But like I say, man, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see the ones that really not sure if they could do it, and the ones that find themselves in that position to where they can quit and they can walk away, but they'd rather push themselves to that limit and sometimes over that limit just to finish, just to pass that test. And I admire those guys that's able to do that, man. I'm serious, because this business it's definitely not meant for everyone, but to be able to test yourself, I think that's something that every man or woman should do at least one time. Just test yourself. See exactly how far you can push yourself. I know when I first joined the wrestling school back in 1990, the Western Wrestling Alliance over there off Derry Ashford in A-Leaf. I tell you, man, to be able to push myself in the middle of that ring every night as hard as I possibly could. And the thing is, I wanted to push myself harder than everybody in the gym. If it was somebody that ran the ropes 20 times, in under a minute, I wanted to do it, even faster. You know what I mean? I wanted to do more, quicker. That's the way I thought about this thing. I wanted to be the best in that locker room. And that's what enabled you to be the best in the middle of that ring every night. You got to practice like you're going to play every single night. And that's what I talk to these young guys about, because they go out there, half do it sometime, and then they find themselves in the ring doing the same exact thing. If you want to be great in this business, it starts at the bottom. And that's how you work your way up to the top. You're in the Hall of Fame, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in one moment.
In order to kick some ass, you gotta bring some. I wasn't born the chosen one. I became the chosen one. Through hard work, determination, and winning.
The chosen one, victorious.
You're gonna be a big star. You already are.
I'm stronger. And I'm faster than anyone they ever put me in the ring with. Being the chosen one isn't just a nickname, it's a gift. And professional wrestling is my gift. That is an absolute guaranteed. What's my name again?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. I know we got a lot of people, in the chat right now, making comments, whatnot. All the super chatters, guys. Y'all got exclusive rights here inside the Hall of Fame. All of our members as well, exclusive rights here inside the Hall of Fame. But we here there again. Brad, you always tell me to turn it off.
You know what though? I think it's become a character on the show. You know what I mean? Like I like hearing you because you've also had the same text tone for like 8 years. It hasn't changed.
I always say, man, I got to change it, man, because I'll be on the airplane and somebody else's phone ring. I'm looking at my pocket. I'm checking. I'm looking through my bag, all that kind of stuff. So I definitely got to get something customized for me. And me only, Charmel got my ringtone on her phone, but I thought that'd be a little cheesy for me to have.
For you to have your own song?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can't do that. I just can't do it.
Yeah, there is an 8-bit version of the Booker T theme that you can buy in like the ringtone store or in the app store, the iTunes store or whatever. But it would be odd for you to have your own theme.
Yeah, it is.
It'd be a little strange. Yeah. That'd be a little strange. But you know what? What all the people can get, this show's all about the people. And I am pleased to announce that after much deliberation and many weeks of saying that it was going to come true, we finally have some new merch for the people, Book, right?
We got a little something.
We have
something. The people been waiting, and they've been waiting patiently. And
we finally have.
They deserve it.
The Shub shirt is here on our Pro Wrestling Tees store. You can get it right now.
No. The Shub shirt. You got to say it like that. You can't
give it to him one more time. The what shirt?
Shub shirts available right now. They're going like hotcakes.
And here's the other thing. There was also I actually can't believe this is a real shirt, but we had fun recently with this. So there's also, you can get on the Pro Wrestling Tees store, you can get the exclusive "We Ain't Going" shirt. This right there, it is. The "We Ain't Going" shirt. You can get.
What that's referencing to for you guys who may not know, who may not understand what the shirt is. That's Black folks going to Mount Everest. That's not something that we do. We don't climb mountains. We don't find ourselves in position where we could actually die at our own, BS. That's the thing that I don't understand. Why put yourself in a situation where you can lose all your fingers and all your toes and still live? Just to be able to say, I climbed that damn summit. Talk to me. Somebody got to make me understand.
You need to talk to your buddy JBL. Doesn't he do that? Doesn't he climb mountains?
Well, he did it before. He did it a couple of times, but I think even him, I think he realized it very, very quickly that this is not the right idea.
We ain't going. I'll tell you what. I can't speak for all of the white people in the world, but I will say I'm not going either.
Bro, I mean,
there's nothing that's getting me on that mountain.
I'm serious, man. I don't get it. Somebody got to make me understand that. I understand, the adrenaline rush. I understand the adventure of it all and whatnot. But I just don't. I don't get wanting to climb a snowy mountain to where the chances are likely you can die. I just don't get it. You know, you put yourself in a situation, something can happen. Have you ever watched the movie? That movie?
That one?
Yeah, yeah. It's about that. It's actually about that mountain.
Was it about Everest? No, I don't think
Yeah,
I've seen that.
that actually is the name of it.
Oh, I
Everest.
know I haven't.
You know, you've never seen it.
No.
You got to watch it. You got to watch it just to be able to understand exactly what I'm talking about. Everest is one of the scariest movies I've ever watched in my life.
I haven't even heard of it.
No, I'm serious, man. It's one of those movies to, you go, wow, man, this is real. But that's what people do, man. That's the human being. That's the nature of the beast and man. I always talk about that, men going out and fighting, UFC fighters, boxers that go out there. That's the nature and the beast, of the human being. And that part I understand. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how I missed this movie. This was like a big movie. It made $200 million at the box office. It had Jake Gyllenhaal, Josh Brolin,
Yeah.
Sam Worthington, Keira Knightley.
I don't know how you missed it also. That movie will scare this is a word that people that climbs Everest, they use the bejesus out of you.
I pick up your coded language there. He's trying to say that's a white folk word right there.
Did I say that? I didn't say that. Did I? I just said the bejesus.
You said people who climb the mountain would say that. What does that mean, Book? That's coded language. Your dog whistle. It's a dog whistle. Well, for those of you who feel so inclined, we have the "We Ain't Going" shirt. I actually love that shirt design. I don't know if I could ever wear it. I don't think I could pull that one off. Because I think I get one too many questions about
it. Just be able to explain why, what the shirt is all about. I think that's the beauty of wearing that shirt. Because somebody go ask you, what does that mean?
Well, let me explain it to you.
Yeah, let me explain it to you.
It's definitely a conversation starter. That's a conversation starter.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what? I want to shout out to all the channel members, of course. Loso Dolo, Turfa, Cali Toenails in here as well. All our channel members. We appreciate y'all. One of the other things I wanted to highlight before we move on to any of the topics of the day is on the Reality Wrestling YouTube channel right now. Book, you got to tell the folks because you can see the latest episode of Reality Wrestling, which features perhaps the greatest fatal four-way we've ever had.
Yeah.
At Reality Wrestling. It was a fatal four-way tag match that went down last month, but now you can see it. The channel members got it early, but now everybody can see it right now. It is an incredible, incredible match. It's Fly Def, Culture Inc., The Heat, and La Familia.
Yeah.
And man, that was I watched it back last night and I still couldn't believe how great of a tag team match that was.
That match could have been aired unedited. That's how good it was. It was flawless. And those guys, I'm really proud of those guys, especially La Familia, stepping up and playing their role and playing such a huge role. I've been, wishing those guys, to find a better position for quite some time. But thing is, me wishing it's not going to make it happen. Those guys got to go out there and put the work in. And that, on that night, I talked about how La Familia, that was the best night I think they ever had together as a tag team, as well as the rest of those guys. Man, that match could have been on any wrestling program anywhere in the world, and the fans would have been like, man, this is awesome. That's why I'm proud of what we produce at Reality of Wrestling. It was exciting. It was entertaining. It was high pace. It was caution being thrown to the wind. But it was still safe at the same time, and those guys brought the noise, man. So if you do get a chance to check it out, guys, go to Reality Wrestling YouTube channel and do it. Do it now, because I do it for you.
It's funny. We had this great tag team ladder match a few Christmas chaoses ago, I think 2021. And it was Fly Def and Culture Inc. And I remember going up to them and I remember saying, man, you only get so many of those. You might only get one of those in your whole career, right? Because it was such a great match. Had the people going crazy. And then I remember going up to them after that fatal four-way. I went up to Culture Inc. and I said, maybe you get more than one. You know what I mean? Because that topped that one. It was incredible. So I
man,
mean,
it was. Yeah. And give Culture Inc., man, Eli and Malik some credit, man. Those guys, those young brothers, man, they are so freaking talented. And that Eli Knight, I've seen a lot of special talent come along in this business, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I haven't seen too many more special than that kid. He's gonna literally blow the world away when they get a real dose of what Eli Knight really brings to the table. This kid is unbelievable.
he can do anything.
Yeah.
He can do anything. I mean, it is very impressive what he
You know
can
what?
do.
What's crazy is, and you know, I say that, you know, I don't say that too often about talent, young talent that comes along in this business. But this kid keeps his ears open, and I tell you, he's 10 times as good as I was.
Let that sink in, everybody. I mean, that's high praise, BT. That is high praise.
I'm serious, man. I'm serious. You know, get that kid, you know, my body. And all of that talent, man, good God. But he's going to get there. He's a young kid. That's like I say, he's got to grow into himself. And when I watch him, I go, wow, he's got that flat top fade just like I did back in the day, too. You know what I mean? So he reminds me of me so much, but he's so much better than I was at that stage of the game. It's unbelievable. And I just cannot wait till the world get a chance to see Culture Inc. up close and personal.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So go out of your way to see it. Go out of your way to see it. I see we got a lot of super chats in here. We got some WrestleMania stuff to talk about. New Hall of Fame inductee was announced today. A lot of stuff to get into, Book, but I think we got to go to a quick break.
Yeah. We got to take that all. We got to pay some bills, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We just rolling, just talking about something right here inside the Hall of Fame, giving you your champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. Yeah, let's keep it rolling, dog. Let's keep it rolling. Wait.
Well, you know, we have a couple super chats, and let me not.
Let's do it. Let's do it now.
Here we go. This is from Scott Bott. We appreciate you, Scott Bott. I don't know if I've seen your name in here before, so welcome to the Hall of Fame.
What up, kid?
Book and Brad, what's up, fellas? Hey, Book, has Kendrick beat you in WWE 2K23 already?
You know what? We haven't been off into the 2K games lately together as far as wrestling goes. My son, he's off on another wing right now. He's playing basketball. He's 12 years old. He wore my size 13 Jordans to school last week. Okay, seriously, and that's no joke. Nose beginning to get wide open a little bit. You know what I mean? So he ain't been thinking about the video games with dad as much lately. But I'm just excited that I got a little piece of the action more than anything. I'm still in the game. I'm still
in the game.
Still making headlines. You know what I mean? I'm still getting that quarterly check. So it's good. It's good. Yes.
I would be remiss if we were talking about this subject, this 2K23, and we didn't bring up our guy, friend of the show, H-Town representative, the 305 MVP, Montel Vontavious Porter. Have you seen what's been going on with MVP in the WWE 2K23 game? Have you seen this?
No.
No, MVP's not happy. He's not happy. He's in the game. He is in the game. He is not pleased with his rendering of how they made him look in the game. He's been very vocal about it.
They got wait a minute. They got a little weight on him.
I don't know if well, maybe a little weight on him, but it's more so of the attire that they have him in. So let me share with you. This was shared from MVP's Twitter account at the 305 MVP, and they didn't do him well. This is MVP in the in the game.
It's a game, man. It's a game, man. Wait a minute. Tell me this here. Do that look like MVP?
The face is reminiscent of MVP, but I will tell you this. They put him in the cheapest suit they could find.
I mean, wait a minute.
This is Sears Catalog 95.
You understand, when MVP first started the manager role, his suits wasn't as tight.
Yeah, this is very ill-fitting. I mean,
bro,
look at that.
It's a video
Look at
game.
that fit.
You can't be looking at that right there.
And then, what's up with the gray on gray? He's got no lapel flower. He's got no pocket square.
Look,
There's
bro,
no tie bar. They didn't even give him earring.
Look,
What's going on here?
I think when you're trying to put together a video game, I don't think those are things you're really thinking about, really, honestly. And that role right there is going to be very limited. So you can't be thinking about. Do you realize how much tech goes into that right there? That alone?
I'm sure a ton. Here's some look. But look, one of these things is not like the other. You know what I'm saying?
Is that the yellow tie that he has?
He's got the yellow tie, but look,
wait a minute, is that
that's
the
a three-piece. That's a check three-piece. He's got a little plaid to it with a pocket square.
It could be a vest under that jacket. We just don't see it, right?
Is that why he looks so thick?
Yeah, he looks. That's the thing right there. If he didn't look jacked right now, he looked pretty jacked in that photo right there with a suit on. You can imagine without the suit on, you can see the muscles, the shoulders, the chest. You can see all of that. So, me personally, I wouldn't be that upset about it if I was MVP.
Man, Envy though, he's a good dresser, Boog. You know what I mean? You're a good dresser.
Yeah.
Like, how would you like it if they put you in this suit, in this Sears Catalog 95?
I think if you look in I think the last video game WWE came out, I am a coach, and I don't look like I'm not dressed that well. It didn't bother me that much. Yeah.
Now, have you had bad video game renderings of yourself where you look at it?
TNA. Go back and look at my TNA video.
Bad?
It's the worst one you're ever gonna see. I look like
What do you look like? What do you look like? I have to Google this. Why? I never played.
Yeah, I'm not gonna even go there, but it was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
I don't even know what you're gonna say, but for you to not say it, it must be pretty bad.
No, I'm serious. You know that. So, but did it bother me? It didn't bother me that much, man, because I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't going to be playing the game that much anyway. I mean, my thing, I'm looking for how big is the check every quarter. You know what I mean? If the check is right, I'm happy.
Okay. Well, you know what? My sympathies are with MVP because I feel like he could have been better displayed.
Yeah.
This is from DJ 1491. Now, Book, I know you don't like to book shows, but as you say, I'm going to tell you right now, after Stand and Deliver, I'd call Braun Breaker up to the main roster.
That's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one right there to say, let's bring Braun to the main roster, because sink or swim when you get to the main roster. Okay, there's nowhere to go but up. Okay, seriously, there's nowhere to go but up. And one thing you don't want to do is get lost in the shuffle. I remember when I first came to WCW and War Games, first pay-per-view that I was ever a part of. And we were in the main event, Houston, Texas. And I'm sure Braun feels the same way. I'm sure he would give you the same answer. I remember Vader asking, "You really think you guys are ready for this?" And I say, man, we've been training for this for the last 2 years, down in Dallas. We've been waiting on this moment. And I tell you, I could not wait for that moment that night in Houston. But I knew what my job was. I knew I wasn't going to win or anything like that. I knew I was the young guy in the ring. I was in there with a bunch of veterans. My job was to bump, go out there and make all these old guys look good. Then at the end of the night, those old guys was going to come to me and go, man, you did a great job. Man, you did awesome. Of course I did, because I put you guys over. And Bron Breakker coming up to the main roster, he's got to be, what my point is, he's got to be 100% ready. And I said it just a few weeks ago that, right now the crowd is kind of turning on Bron a little bit. And Bron said on NXT, you can't worry about the fans. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's the one thing you got to worry about is the fans. Because especially these days fans, this day and era is different. These fans get, cuddle together and, get on the internet and try to destroy you. You know what I mean? Seriously, that they could make it a point to try to cancel you. So you got to try to know how to, walk that line very, very thin, walk that thin line very, very properly, because you don't want to mess up as far as that go. For me, the fans that brought the signs, the fans that was cheering, let's go Booker T, the fans that raised the roof, when I came out, that was so important for me to have those fans on my side to be able to move up the ladder quarterly, move up the ladder quarterly, move up the ladder a little bit further. So Bron Breakker has to understand exactly what that is truly 100% all about before he get in that situation.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about the fan support, especially because Braun's he's been a baby since he's been on the show, right? He's been a fan favorite or booked to be one, and presented as one. And if they don't gravitate to you, man, you're swimming in tough waters, right?
Yeah.
You're swimming in tough waters. I mean, I actually, when we had Brian now I was about to almost say his name wrong, Gewirtz on the show a few weeks ago, I actually went and watched Young Rock, and I didn't realize, at least according to the show, how close they were to cutting The Rock back in the day, because he was booked as a baby, but the crowd was booing him. They were turning on him, and Vince had him sitting at home for months after an injury, but had him sitting at home and like, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know what to do with you. And, finally they were able to come up with the nation thing. And even that really didn't work out at first for him until he kind of, understood how to make a connection with the audience and make them feel a certain way.
Yeah. And that's not saying anything bad about Bron.
No.
But it's just one of those things to where you got to understand that you need the fans in order to make it to that ultimate level. Every superstar in this business, they either loved them, loved them to that position, or they hated them to that position. One of the two, you know what I mean? So he's going to have to figure it out, because right now he's a babyface, and to make it to that next level, he's going to need every one of those fans to, be on that bandwagon and push him to that next level. And that's just have been a part of the way this game has been built since day one. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, no stretch of the imagination is he in a scary spot right now. I mean, he's still the top guy on NXT. He's doing all right for himself. But to the chatter's question, going to the next level, you go from being the big fish in the smaller pond to the big fish in the ocean, right? Or just a fish in the ocean.
Swimming with sharks, man.
Swimming with the sharks.
And some of the best talent in the world.
The best.
So that's the thing you got to think about when finding yourself in a situation like that. I can't wait for Bron Breakker to move to the next level, but I just want the timing to be right more so than anything. We got to take a quick break, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We super chat. Now wait till the end of this show coming. You team from ESPN 975, 92.5. We're having a damn good time here today, man. I just want to thank all you chatters for stepping inside the Hall of Fame again, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams.
Getting it all, man. We have a couple more super chats. I want to get to them in a second because I did want to address some of the news that broke today. Of course, we have a new Hall of Fame inductee who's going to be joining you and your wife and brother, the whole Hall of Fame family, right? Joining the Hall of Fame this year, and that is Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman, who was obviously big in Taxi and other shows like that, but did his run with Jerry Lawler in Memphis, and they had the legendary moment on Letterman that's still talked about to this day. What do you think of Andy Kaufman going into the Hall of Fame? I guess that was before you got into the business when Kaufman was doing
that was
well before.
Back in the 80s, actually.
Yeah, early 80s, I think at that.
80s, yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure you've seen the clips and know what he was doing because he was all in on pro wrestling, man. He loved it.
He liked beating women up.
That was his thing. Yeah, he was the intergender champion.
Yeah. Before intergender wrestling. That's what's crazy about it. Nah, man. What's my thoughts on it? How do I feel about it? Andy Kaufman, right? That thing happened back in early 80s, just like you just said, with Jerry Lawler and him running around, beating up women and whatnot. But still, to this day, 2023, we're still talking about it. It's still being talked about, that Andy, how big it was, how big that angle was, literally so many people thought that was a shoot. Yeah. It was crazy. I mean, to make people really buy in from that perspective, it was huge. And should Andy Kaufman be in the WWE Hall of Fame? This is a celebrity wing, and I think he should be in it. I really think Andy Kaufman did, so much for the business, and he did it his own way. He loved it, and that's one thing about the business. That's one thing. That's why I hate when I see so many people getting hate about getting an honor like this. That dude loved this business, just like when Bad Bunny came in and did his thing. Man, Bad Bunny, he didn't just come in and do it; he loved it. And people like that, man, I give them props, man. I give them props because this is truly the ultimate entertainment business. It really is. And we take all comers. We take them from all forms of life. We don't discriminate or anything like that. And that's what's so cool about it. So for me to see Andy Kaufman get in that celebrity wing is a cool thing for me because he entertained all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Andy Kaufman fan outside of his wrestling, just the way that he thought about entertainment and the things that he would do. I mean, I don't know if you ever saw the movie that Jim Carrey did on him, that Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross are actually both in, but he had this other persona, Tony Clifton, and he would dress up in prosthetics and a big suit, and he would put on this gimmick, right? And he would work the people that he was on set with. Yeah. So much so that when he got the contract for Taxi, he had his manager ask the people at NBC or wherever it was for a separate contract for Tony Clifton to be in 4 or 5 episodes of Taxi, just so Tony Clifton could show up with strippers and alcohol and get fired off the show. Like it was all just a gimmick to him. No,
you know what? He was like one of the most entertaining characters on that show, Taxi, back in the day.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
I mean, he was so Latka.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so freaking entertaining on that show back then. And that's someone you really, he had the smallest role, but it shined just as big as anybody else's. That's what I always talk about. Guys that's able to, take the smallest little thing and make it shine brighter than anybody else. That's what Latka, I'm still calling him Latka. Yeah. That's what, I mean, I'm serious. That's what
Andy Kaufman did.
That's what Andy Kaufman brought to the table. So, man, he entertained us, man. And I think that's what the business is truly all about. I think that's what the WWE Hall of Fame is truly all about, guys that entertained us. I mentioned, actually, it was rumored that Stacy Keibler may be going in, and I said, man, if Stacy get in, man, it will be awesome, man. I'm like, man, we were just talking about that as far as, man, she was on TV, and it's people that come out and want to hate on me saying, I would love to see Stacy go. I can't even say I love to see somebody go in. And the thing is, this is what's crazy about it. This is what's crazy about it. I could be saying it as a friend, not having anything to do with business or accomplishments or anything like that. I could be a friend of Stacey and say, man, she deserved it, man. I mean, it could be that. But that's my opinion. And when you see people give hate just because they have nothing to do but give hate, it's unbelievable. But still, I stand by that. If Stacey was to get in, man, it'll be awesome, man, because she definitely was a trailblazer in so many ways for this business. She really was, whether you saw it or not. I was there up close and personal, and I know what someone like a Stacy Keibler brought to the table to this business. Trust me, I do.
Oh yeah. I mean, big fan, and I think she's deserving. I do. I mean, I don't know where, some of the fans, and I don't want to bash wrestling fans because we're all fans at the end of the day, and everyone's entitled to their opinions. But I don't like it when people just spew hate for no reason. At the end of the day, whether she's in it or not, how does that affect you so deeply?
That's the part that gets me. That's the part that gets me right there. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, it's not going to affect you at all. It's not going to change your income. It's not going to change, your pecking order, in life or anything like that. So it just baffles me, man, when I see people that's, man, I woke up this morning and I got to hate.
Stacy Keibler's going to the WWE Hall of Fame. God dang, this life sucks. I mean, I don't get it. Like, I love Andre Johnson, right? The wide receiver for the Houston Texans for a long time, right? I just think he's an incredible player. Not in the Hall of Fame currently. I don't wait every single day for them to make the announcement of him going in or whoever is going in. It doesn't change my life. If he gets the nod one day, I'm like, oh man, yeah, Andre Johnson, number 80. He finally got in. But if he never gets in, it's not going to change my life personally, right? I would love to see it. It's not going to change my life, whether he's in or not. Same thing with Stacy Keibler. And if there's any wrestling fans who just don't want an excuse to see Stacy Keibler on their WWE television, I mean, I really don't know. I don't know what your problem is there. You know what I mean?
Like I say, bro, must-see TV. You definitely wasn't going to change
Still.
the channel with Stacy Keibler. So if Stacy, like I say, it's not, for sure, it's rumored. But if Stacy was to get in, I'm gonna be so happy. If the Nasty Boys, find a nomination, to get in, I'm gonna be all behind. I can't wait, man. I want to see. I've been literally lobbying for those guys for what, last 3 years?
At least.
Last 3-4 years. I'm serious. I want to see the Nasty Boys inside the Hall of Fame, man, because they deserve it. Seriously.
There's 3 tag teams that need to be in there: the Nasty Boys, the Midnight Express, and Demolition. Like, how are these teams not in there? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like those 3 teams need to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Miss Elizabeth needs to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. And I get, like, when they say stuff, and that's what a lot of fans bring up, like, oh, Stacy Keibler's in. How's Stacy Keibler in, but Miss Elizabeth isn't? I'm like, hey, man, I'm not that I'm disagreeing with you. You know what? Okay. It looks like I'm talking. Not that I'm disagreeing with you, but I need Stacy Keibler can go in 2023. Miss Elizabeth can go in 2024, 2025, whatever it's going to be. I understand the sentiment, but at the same time, you need to have people who made a mark on the business. Like, I was a huge proponent of Stacy Keibler going into the Hall of Fame at just as much as I was for the Bella Twins going in. And I know we should probably talk about the Bella Twins coming up, but
oh man, Bella Twins been making headlines lately.
I mean, wait, actually, I guess we should correct ourselves. The Garcia Twins.
You know what? We still got a minute and a half. We can start the conversation. What do you think about the Bella Twins saying, we're stepping away from WWE and now we're going to be known as the Garcia Twins? What do you think about that?
It was a little I guess shocking at first because or surprising I should say, because my wife sent me a thing on Instagram. It's like, oh, it says Nikki Garcia now instead of Nikki Bella. And I'm like, wait, what? Why does it say Nikki Bella? And they said they're approaching 40. They want to make a change. It does seem a little interesting that they were a little bit critical of the Raw anniversary, the 30th anniversary, that there weren't enough women featured. They had a pretty public statement about it. And then a month later or whatever it is, now they're saying they're done with the company. My thing is, I've been a fan of them since they came in. I think that, what they do is great. If they want to step away from wrestling and just try to do their radio show and try to do their reality television more power to them. You don't have to be attached to the brand forever. It is weird though that I guess maybe they don't get to keep their name. That's why they wanted to change it, because it's really hard to change your identity because everyone's going to always say the Bellas, even if they go by the Garcias.
I think people are going to still say the Bellas, but I think for them to be able to claim, who they are.
Yeah, and they're betting on themselves.
I have nothing wrong with that.
No, me neither.
And the thing is,
I'm a fan of theirs.
No, I'm serious. They're getting older. I'm sure they're finding themselves in a different place as far as, where they're trying to go in life. And sometimes you got to be able to leave like old baggage behind. To be able to go through life, trying to live up to that moniker of the Bella Twins. People are going to always want to see them as the Bella Twins, those two, beautiful young ladies they saw, on WWE TV. And times change. You got to be able to move past that. So I get it. I totally understand it. And I applaud them for being able to step up and, own, who they are. Seriously.
Shout out to the Garcia twins. I'd love to have them on the show sometime. You know what I mean? That would be a great interview because I think that what they've offered this business is so overlooked.
It is, but a lot of people want to hate on the Bella Twins.
They do, man.
Those girls get so much freaking hate. It's not funny. But I tell you, they definitely were, trailblazers in their own way. They paved the way for so many in their own way because there's a lot of beautiful young women out there who do not see WWE as their way out. And then you see someone like the Bella Twins, you go, man, they did it. I mean, maybe we could do it too. So I tell you, I'm sure they've given so much inspiration to so many. And for them to just take upon, this journey of this business, I don't think their road was any different than anybody else's. I think they went out there and took the bumps. I think their bodies was bruised up.
Didn't Nikki Bella have neck surgery?
Yeah, I'm serious. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't think they took any shortcuts or anything like that. So I applaud the Bella twins, the Garcia twins, on what they've done in this business. I know we got to take a break, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
I am the Rocket, Josiah John. I'm training at Reality of Wrestling. I've wanted to be a wrestler since I was a little kid, since watching it with my dad for the first time and seeing guys like Booker T wrestle. That's what I knew. That's what I wanted to do. So I just had to take that leap, take that drive, and chase some dreams. The greatest thing about Reality of Wrestling is all the knowledge that's here. From all the trainers, Ryan Davidson, Brian Key. I am the Rocket, yeah. One day, Booker T just called me Rocket.
And I got to give him a cool name, man. Rocket is just something that stuck out with me. And I think that's something that's going to stick with him for a long time. He had Rocket on his shirt. I don't know if you noticed that, but he's definitely falling into it, man. And he's really buying into what this thing really, truly is. And if he could just keep his mind on point and stay focused, he definitely could do something in this business.
I feel like I've been doing really well training here. Just coming as much as I can. Come early to work out before the actual training. We have like a whole gym for people to work out. What would I say to somebody that's on the fence about joining Reality Wrestling? I would just tell you to just take the leap. Because everybody here is going to take care of you and help you get to where you need to be. You can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Just watching that kid right there, the Rocket. One thing about Rocket, one of my students, one of my ace prime students, up and coming, trying to make it to that next level, throwing that sidekick. I was just watching, man. I got to talk to that kid, see if I could change his game plan, his repertoire up just a little bit. Throwing that sidekick for many, many years, man. My right knee is like all screwed up, so I definitely gotta talk to him about that. Maybe he can perfect it a little bit or something like that. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, because you don't want to get stuck with a certain move, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's the thing. Yeah.
I remember Hogan saying, "Man, if I was really smart, I talked about the 24-inch pythons. Like my finish should have been a sleeper, not 300-pound leg drop, going on my back
Yeah,
all
crushing
the
his
time."
spine, you know what I mean? All the vertebrae, every time he did that, he had to compress, his vertebrae, and he's paying for it now. I mean, how many back surgeries?
I mean, a dozen or more than that, probably 20 back surgeries, something crazy.
God,
You
I'm
know,
sure he's in pain.
shout out, shout out to the Rocket though, man. Awesome young talent at Reality Wrestling. We got a couple super chats here, so we got to take them. This is from Jake Cha, who says, "Book Brad random. I just hit the 30. I guess the 30-year mark is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what it
But
is.
can a mate attend that fantasy camp still if I manage to get to Texas? Yeah.
No, it's gonna be closed door, man. You won't be
Oh, well, yeah, we're sold out.
you won't be to hang out or anything. We don't let people just hang out at Reality Wrestling. It ain't that kind of party. But try to make that next fantasy camp. Try to make sure, because my thing is 30 is not outside that number. It really isn't. I started when I was 25. I got discovered when I was 27, but I know a lot of guys that's, right now 30 years old trying to make it in this business. And I think there's a spot for certain guys if they got the talent.
Yeah.
I really think talent trumps all at the end of the day. So I think if you got what it takes to make it to the next level, go for it. But if you don't have what it takes, I'm one of the people that think you don't want to wake up when you're 50 years old one day wishing, man, I wish I had tried that when I was 30. Now, because those days are over. You're not going to be able to try it. So go for it, man. Go for that ultimate dream. You never know.
You never know, man. Yeah, absolutely. Try to make the next fantasy camp. What did Dallas Page was what, 38 when he started wrestling?
Yeah, Dallas was close to 40. Yeah.
40? Yeah. I mean, come on now. You can do it. He was world champion. He's champion of the world.
The Boogeyman was on Tough Enough at age 40.
There you go. And he swore he was 30.
Swore he was 30, though.
This is from our man, Callie Toenail. Just grab both tees. Appreciate you, Callie.
Give us some Roni, brother. Oh, yeah.
Just grab both tees. Now I got one for every day WrestleMania weekend. Who you with? So is Bobby versus Bray in WrestleMania trouble? Oh, my queen, can you please check every contract? Yeah, so Bobby Bray, we're not sure if it's going to go on. We don't know yet.
Sound like that thing is off, man. But then again, I don't know. Right now, Bray Wyatt is up in the air. We don't know what's going on with Bray. I've been hearing injury. I've been hearing personal time off. I've been hearing a lot of different things as far as Bray Wyatt goes. We haven't seen a whole lot of Bray Wyatt since he's been back. And I must say that I was 100% wrong as far as, my theory on the way Bray Wyatt, was going to go when he came back. I thought Bray was just going to be a regular guy and was going to go out there and, try to perform and get the fans, on his side, on the bandwagon from that perspective. But I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to go from the Fiend to being just a regular guy.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you want, Superman or Clark Kent?
Right.
I mean, it's one of those deals. You almost back yourself in a corner when you do bring out Superman, because who's going to beat Superman?
You can't beat him, man.
Can't beat him. So you back yourself in a corner as far as that goes. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, before he left, it was on fire, selling merchandise like crazy. $350 belts, selling like hotcakes, all kind of stuff. Fiend masks, Fiend, everything was Fiend. Puppets, everything. But now it's a little bit different. I think, you know what? But that just goes to show you how quick the landscape in wrestling changes.
Yeah.
I mean, it changed
change
that quick. The guy was that hot just a minute ago, it seemed like. And then now he's lukewarm at best. That's just the way the business goes. One of those things I always say, Brad, and you can attest to this. Time off.
Worst enemy. Worst enemy, man. Always.
Out of sight is out of mind.
Yep.
That's just the way it works. You gotta stay hot in this business. You gotta keep the irons, to the fire in this business if you want to stay relevant, if you want to stay over, if you want to stay on top. You cannot step away and then just think about this here for a second. Bobby Lashley stepped away from WWE when he came back. How long did it take Bobby to build himself back up to where he's, the guy that he is right now?
4 years, maybe.
Took him a minute. I mean, I'm serious. You know what I mean? So stepping away and coming back, it's not the same, effect of like Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes stepped away. Cody Rhodes didn't step away. He just, changed scenery.
Right.
Okay. And he changed scenery from a perspective to where he was building that foundation at the same time, and he was building that foundation, with solid, solid foundation, because he was out there on those independent shows. He was going out there meeting people. He was shaking hands. He was kissing babies. You thought this guy was running for office. I'm serious. I'm serious. I ran into Cody Rhodes at some of the smallest house shows out there. Literally, I would come. They would, bring me in just to sign autographs or whatever. Cody would be on the card. Cody would show up in a 3-piece suit, fly, looking better than anybody in the building. And every time I saw him, he was like that. But not just here, he was doing it overseas. This guy was in a public relations mode, building, his brand more than anything. And I think that's why we see Cody a little bit different as far as his comeback. Cody right now, I don't know if it's true or not, but I was listening to, another show earlier today, and they said Cody Rhodes is the second highest paid star on the roster.
Wow. I
don't know if that's true or not. That's allegedly. That's not something that we're reporting here directly from the Hall of Fame. That's hearsay. That's something I got from somewhere else. But that just let me know how much they value Cody Rhodes going out there and building himself more than anything, because they know when he come back from the work that he put in already, we're going to be able to capitalize off of it.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean,
he's going to capitalize off of it, but we are as well. So I think that's what the difference with Cody is.
He's worth the investment, 100%, Cody Rhodes. Also, giving him a fat contract, and I think I've talked about this before, it's also a nice indicator to anybody else from AEW who wants to explore the waters. Like, hey, man, WWE might take care of you.
I don't think anybody else is going to get that kind of money, but
they're not going to get that kind of money.
But they're going to get a good check.
Like, here's the thing. MJF comes up for contract. You don't think they're going to offer him some money?
I don't even want to look at that. That could be looked at as contract tampering. I don't even want to talk like that. Okay? I
will say they offer him a lot of money.
You can say whatever the hell you want to say.
I'm not under contract.
But I'm not saying anything. Somebody might be giving me a call. All right. So I'm going to just step off of that one right there.
Yeah, you know what? That reminds me of, like, you remember, who was it? It was Doc Rivers was being interviewed, right, on one of the NBA talk shows. And they asked him, what do you think of, I think it was Steph Curry. What do you think of Steph Curry? Oh, man, he's a phenomenal talent. Any team would benefit having him on there. He's one of the great players of all time. And then the league ended up fining him like $50,000 for those comments because they said you're a contract tampering.
Exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly
crazy.
What you're trying to get me involved in right now.
I'm not trying to get you involved.
That's why I say no. I don't know nothing about that.
You're the one who brought up the money.
I did not from that perspective.
You said allegedly, though. You did cover yourself. You said allegedly.
I say, and I'm talking about somebody that's in our company as far as that's what Cody allegedly is making. I don't know, but for him to be, even put into that conversation, what I'm saying is, you go out there and create something like Cody did. It can be looked at as, very, very valuable. Even the Young Bucks, what those guys have gone out there and done, for their careers, those guys got a lot of value. Because what they've created. I saw those guys on the independent scene as well, and those guys' line will be around the freaking around the block. So yeah, when you these days, you can really put yourself in a great position just because of this world we live in right now.
But if you had to put money on it, Book, does Bobby Lashley Bray? Do we see it at Mania? I'm thinking no.
You know what? I'm thinking no. Also, who wins that match? What do we get out of that match? Who benefits from that match?
I don't think either one of them, but I will say if it's off and if Bray's actually hurt or whatever the deal is, Bobby needs to be on the WrestleMania card. Bobby Lashley's an attraction.
Yeah.
Got to put him on there.
Yeah, you just can't put him on just to put him on because that's not going to serve a purpose either. I mean, who's he going to?
I have an idea.
Who's he going to work?
What about Bobby versus Bronson Reed? You've been giving Bronson a lot of time on TV. He's got that finish that everybody likes. You know what I mean? What is it? Avalanche splash? What is it called?
You just do good. You know what? I'm gonna stay out of that one. I'm gonna stay out of it. Because,
okay, I like it.
You know what? Yeah, you like it. You like it a lot. But me personally, I might not like it from certain dispositions, especially if I was, the person that was going to be, going up or down. You know what I mean? So
I feel you.
It's Mania. You got to think about. You just can't think about that one night. You got to think about what's going to happen next. So. It's just my opinion. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Yes, and it feels good to be back. For y'all that don't really know, this is exactly where the Usos started at, right here. Please keep showing love to Booker T, to the reality of wrestling. Those guys in the back, they bust their ass every month to get where they want, where me and Usos is at right now. They're doing it for you guys. Show love the whole ROW family, I'm telling you right now, these guys are the future back here. We started, the Usos was born right here. Right here. So, hey, support the ROW movement. When we say Oos, y'all say, oh, ooh.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Just wanted to get that little ship out there. Hey, guys, make sure you guys get one of the ship shirts, all right? Get the ship shirts. Represent the old man and let everybody know what it's all about because when you shipping, everything's all good. Trust me, I'm serious. When you shipping.
When you're shipping, everything's all good.
You run into somebody, hey man, what's going on? Shoop, you know what I mean? You just keep on rolling. It don't have to mean nothing. You see a good looking honey walk by, shoop. You know what I'm saying? You take it wherever you want to take it, man.
It can be whatever.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
I love it. Look, we were taking super chats here on the show all day, of course. Anything you want to know about WrestleMania season that's right around the corner, make sure you go get some of those ship shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, the book. And here's our next one from Cali Toenail.
Give us some Roni, brother. Oh, yeah.
Cali Toenail says, Booker T, boat. We should hit Nobu WrestleMania weekend. Well, hey, brother, if it's on you, it's all good.
You know what? I'm looking forward to getting some of that Nobu, man. Show me up. I'm sure she's got it all set up. I'm sure she's got the reservation already, as well as Katana. I'm going to hit Katana more than anything, man. Katana is my spot. Nobu is good, but Katana is the ticket. And the thing is, I don't know if it's just because I've been going there for so long and it's got a certain feel for me as far as ever since I've been in the business. It seemed like I've been making that stop, on Sunset Strip.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels so good, man, in LA at that, that time of the evening, man. It just feels good, man. Everything's moving. I love that city, man. So definitely I'm looking forward to getting back to Katana.
Yeah, Katana right there on Sunset by the Comedy Store. Yeah, it was a great spot. I remember.
Beautiful spot, man. It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good scenery there
And
too, right?
the food ain't bad either.
Food's all right, but the scenery, the landscaping.
Oh yeah, the landscaping.
Landscaping make you want to shook.
It's monster, baby. I'm serious. You want to get back. You want to get back there, man. So I'm looking forward to going to Hollywood, man. Seriously.
Me too. I'm looking forward to Los Angeles. It's been a minute. SS29 says LA Knight, yeah, is my new favorite wrestler. He's a gem on the mic. WWE has to use him better. There's been a lot of rumors about LA Knight and what his involvement at WrestleMania might be. Last week they were saying him and Austin was going to happen. Doesn't look like that's going to happen now, but I like LA Knight. I think he's great.
You know what I like about LA Knight is he's not the chosen one. He's not the guy that they, picked to be the face of the company or anything like that. This guy's literally carving his own path. He's going to find a way on that card. He's going to find his way to the main event. This guy's is a pure, I wouldn't call him a wrestler or anything like that. This guy's a hustler. He's one of those guys that's, hey, you may not, choose me to be the champion, but trust me, the people going to choose me to be the champion. All right, they're going to pick me sooner or later because I'm going to do something to make them like me, whether you like it or not. And I think that's what LA Knight is bringing to the table. He's got flavor. He got charisma. He's got showmanship. Only thing that guy needs is an opportunity. All that guy needs is, to get the ball one time. And once he get the ball, if he scores, man, the sky's the limit for LA Knight. Opportunity. That's the only thing I think that guy needs more than anything.
I will tell you this, man. I remember when we did the Live in LA show a few years back, and this is when LA Knight was working for Impact at the time, and he was Eli Drake. Now, as much of a wrestling fan as I am, I've always been a WWE guy. And then when the wars were going on, I would watch both, but I was mainly a WWE guy. So TNA, after kind of y'all's run book, when it went down a little bit, I wasn't watching as much. So I remember you telling me, hey, I'm going to give you this guy's number. He's going to come do the show. Just talk to him, kind of give him a rundown of what's going to happen. I'm like, okay, who is it? You're like, it's Eli Knight. I'm like, or Eli Drake. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I know Eli Drake. Sam, I remember talking to him, and I just remember him on the phone. We were talking about the show, and he goes, hey, brother, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to give y'all a great show tonight. I'm like, hey, that's all we can ask for. But then he came out that night. He did his Eli Drake, yeah. He was doing the yeah back then. And I didn't know him from Adam. And I thought, man, this guy has so much personality, charisma. And he was on a stage the same night as Kurt Angle and David Arquette and Corey Graves. And I forgot, RVD. We're all on that stage that night. And, man, Eli stuck out to me that night. And LA Knight is just as great. And here's the thing. I don't think that he's been positioned the best, but I also don't think he's been positioned the worst. We got to remember, on the 30th anniversary of Raw, they had him in a segment with The Undertaker. They just don't put anybody in a segment with The Undertaker, and I'm sure The Undertaker doesn't agree just to be in a segment with anybody.
It's called the rub. That was called right there. That was called a rub. You get a spot with The Undertaker, how big or how small. You go, well, okay. They got some plans for me. Okay, that's
what it would tell me.
No, that's normally what that means. You know what I mean? And for someone like LA Knight, this guy could have bailed out a long time ago. He could have quit. He could have said, man, let me go jump on this AEW, bandwagon and see if these guys will pay me some money, man, because I can't deal with this. I can't deal with just having these mediocre roles. But one thing about this business is you're going to have a mediocre role somewhere along the way, no matter what you at. But it's about weathering that storm and fixing yourself in position to where there again, the fans are going to dictate, just like I was talking about with Bron Breakker. The fans will dictate where your pecking order is going to be at in this business. And I say that from experience. I never lobbied or anything like that. I never went, and tried to, get certain matches with certain guys or anything like that. I never went in and talked to the creative about, which angle, we're going to be doing, which direction it's going to be going in. I never did that. I just want to go out and perform at the highest level, give the fans something, something that they were going to see and remember, hopefully for a long time. And that way the fans pretty much determine, your position and if you're going to be on the card or not, or how much money you're going to be making. I really, truly believe, look at so many guys, that have come along in this business that wasn't the guy, but found their way to that position to where they became. And I say that because I was one of them. I wasn't chosen. I wasn't the guy. I know I wasn't the guy. When I became King Booker, I wasn't the guy. But I said, man, I got this role. Let me see what I can make out of it. And next thing you know, they're putting a world championship on me because I could have just been the guy with the dunce cap and the scepter acting a fool, But I said, let's make something out of this. And that's what Eli Drake is all about.
Yeah.
LA Knight.
LA Knight. Yeah, I was doing the same earlier. I started calling him Eli Knight. I'm like, no, it's culturing.
Yeah.
No, I 1000% agree with you. And I think that if he sticks around and like you said, well, look, when they made him Max Dupree, a lot of guys would have been like,
that was handicapping him. That was putting him in a position.
Yes.
That was putting him in a position where he literally could have failed. But he said, let me take this role and try to make it something. Look, and a lot of people say, man, I wouldn't do that. You would have. You would have did it. You would have did it because it's a check at the end of the day. But more importantly than that, this is a guy that's not going to bail on the situation because of they're getting put in a situation. They're going to get put in that situation and try to make the best of that situation. I respect that, man. I respect that to the utmost from this dude.
And also, let's be honest, when he was Max Dupree, they brought him on Raw, and the rumors were that the powers that be at the time didn't even like him as Max Dupree. And that's when they brought in Maxine Dupree, right?
Yeah.
And then he was kind of put on the back burner. I mean, it was a dicey time for him right there.
Like I say, this guy could have bailed, man. He could have easily said, man, I'm not digging this. It's some easy money out there. Let me go and get some of it. He easily could have did that. It's a guy that I think LA Knight, Eli Drake, I think this guy understands the big picture. I think he understands what's at the end of that rainbow, more important than anything. This guy he's a grown man as well. He's not a kid that just, out here to take bumps and play games or anything like that. That's what I see with this dude. He's an entertainer. He's a performer, and he's willing to perform at the highest level. But there again, I say with this dude, and I really truly believe this, with LA Knight, all he needs is an opportunity. Give him the ball just one time, and let's see if he can score with it. And that's what I mean. Let's see if he can get the people. I think he can get them. We'll see at the end of the day. But that's my take on LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets that over. I mean, if you can get over.
And the thing is, I know a lot of people see Steve Austin in LA Knight.
I don't see it.
Well, just to talk.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, his voice is so close to Steve. If you close your eyes, you might think you're listening to Steve Austin.
I got to try this out.
If you just did it one time, but I don't think he's trying to mimic Steve Austin. I think he's just being himself, and himself is just, himself is just so close to what Steve Austin was, which was one of a kind. And if it's anybody I got to try to be like, it's Steve Austin. If he could get Steve Austin's music and the interest, then he'd be on to something. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Will Allday versus Cameron Cole. Texas champion versus Reality of Wrestling champion. Years in the making. Ex-best friend versus ex-best friend. I know what I'm getting into. I know you're one of the most exciting, high-flying wrestlers in the business today. And for every punch you have, Will, I know the counter punch. Long ago, the years where we used to train together, and I remember every move. I remember everything in your arsenal, Will. So what is it gonna take? You see, for me, I'll do whatever it takes, and you're gonna find that out, Will.
Will Allday versus Cam Cole once again. this time it's going to be different. It's not going to be best friend versus best friend now. It's not going to be me looking in your eyes knowing that at the end of this, we just want to see who the better man is. Yeah, let's talk about that match. And Cam, I knew getting into the ring with you then how good you were. Cam, I know now that you're even more dangerous. But Cam, you strayed. Ever since you and I faced in that last match, a year ago, something changed. And you started walking down this dark path where you would do anything to win, Cam. And you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like weakness.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Shup! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Man, these shows going by too fast these days, man.
Quick.
We need more time. But I know we got more super chatters, man. So let's get with them, Brad.
Quick. Mitt Romney. Do you remember that?
Quick. Mitt Romney. Yeah, it's supposed to happen. I can say he would have won the presidency if he'd used that slogan.
That used to make me laugh so hard. Quick. Mitt Romney. Jobs.
Economy, jobs, everything. He would take care of it quick, Mitt Romney. No, I'm serious, man.
It would have been a great gimmick.
That was a slogan, like Jiggy Joe Biden. He'd have got in on that right there. You know, he came in just with a little jigginess, you know, stage for debates or something, you know, playing his music here. People are like, man, I like this old dude. You know what I mean? Jiggy Joe Biden. I remember when Herman Cain was, God bless his soul, when he was running for president, they had him on CNN. And he was doing an interview with Wolf Blitzer, and he goes, and you know, Blitz. Wolf Blitzer looked at him like, who the hell are you calling Blitz?
Oh, that did not happen. Oh, my gosh.
You know, Blitz. He's just gonna make the White House totally hood. He's gonna take it straight to the hood. You know what I mean? You know, Blitz. He talking to one of his homies. Oh my God, man.
Oh God, I gotta find that.
You gotta find it.
I gotta find that. That is the
You've never heard that one before?
I've never heard.
You know, Blitz.
You know, Blitz.
I love politics, man.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy,
Yeah, you know, one of the funny debate moments I remember, I don't even know how we're on this, but was when
I know Bush.
no, well, Bush, yeah. Bush always, but was what was the guy who used to be the governor? Who's the governor? After Bush, Rick Perry. He was like, I
got 4 things.
It was 3. It was like, I got 3. We're gonna get rid of. It's like, we're gonna get rid of the EPA. We're gonna get rid of the Department of Education. And we're gonna get rid of what's that third one? He goes, well, oops. He said, oops.
I love politics, man.
Oops.
He forgot to write it down. He forgot it. Oh my God, man. I love it, man.
I think I found it. I did find it.
Okay. You gotta play
it. Can I play it for the people? I'm sorry. I know y'all tuned into a wrestling show, but this is too funny. Well, here we go. This is Herman Cain during a Republican debate for president, talking to Wolf Blitzer.
Muslim Americans.
Can you hear that?
To get more intensive pat downs or security when they go through airports than Christian Americans or Jewish Americans?
No, Blitz. That's I happen to believe that if you allow our intelligence.
No, Blitz.
So, those idea got comfortable with it.
No, Blitz.
Oh my God. I love it. You Blitz.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
it's
like my cheeks hurt.
He's like Mean Gene.
Well, you know something, Gino. Well, you know, Blitz.
Oh my God.
Okay, we do have a couple. We have a couple.
Keep it going.
We have a couple super chats. We got to get them before the end of the show. Blitz. Loso Dolo says Bray just needs to get back in the ring. I think that is a problem. You know, if he's injured, he's injured. But if he would have been wrestling more, I think that people would have been more on his side.
You know, man, that's the thing, man. Bray Wyatt has never wrestled a whole lot. What do people think? Bray Wyatt has never really wrestled a whole. Even when he was just Bray Wyatt with the family, he didn't. That was the most Bray Wyatt ever wrestled when he was with the family. All right. Now, Bray Wyatt has been more of a character than anything. I don't think people come to the show to see Bray Wyatt actually wrestle. And I don't think that's his fault or anything. But like you say, he just haven't been doing a lot of it lately.
No, I mean,
and you know, just to add on to that, what's the payoff in wrestling? The wrestling match.
The match.
Come on, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, so I think Bray Wyatt is in a you know, sticky situation, slippery slope, whatever it may be. Yeah,
slippery slope. Yeah, I agree. This is from Kid who says, "What are your thoughts on the maximum male models?"
I hate them.
You don't like Masse and Mansois?
You know what? Not that it can't work. Okay. My thing is, when you got a character like that, you gotta. It's almost like when what's the other guy name? He's not there anymore. Fandango.
Yeah.
When you get put in a character, a gimmick like that, you got to be able to carry it. You got to be able to, have some kind of connections with the fans to where normally they got to hate you. They got to really dislike you. Okay. I go back to a wrestler by the name of Adrian Street. Adrian Street played that same character, same gimmick with Miss Linda, his valet.
Mm-hmm.
But when that dude, when Adrian Street, when the bell rang, man, you thought that guy was a killer. You thought he was gonna murder somebody. You thought this was the baddest little dude you ever seen in your life.
Right.
And I think when you got a character like that, you got to have something to offset it to make fans, trigger, make that light go off. And I think that's the one thing with those guys. You don't see any of that. They're still going out there just trying to be wrestlers, and I don't think that's going to work.
Well, I'll tell you this. This has been it's been an interesting faction since they came in. Like Max Dupree, not really a fan. L.A. Knight, big fan, right? Maxine Dupree, big fan. I'll be honest with you. Very easy to look at. And it does a great role. Plays a role to the utmost.
Oh yeah,
I like what they've been doing on Raw. I will say, for Marseille and Mansois, the promos and like the vignettes they do, they're highly entertaining, and I think that they got something there. I do agree. There's something in the ring that I feel like there should be more of a switch that's flipped.
Yeah,
and like, man, these guys, they might be male model. It was like the Spirit Squad.
Well,
you know why the Spirit Squad had such a run? Because when they got in there, they actually could work and actually win the match. That Kenny Dykstra leg drop off the top rope. You had Dolph Ziggler in there who could work, and they made you buy into those matches, even as male cheerleaders.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I get, the ha-ha. I get,
Sure, yeah, there's got to be some ha-ha.
Because that's part of it. That's just part of, the business. And it wouldn't be pro wrestling without that. So that's not the part I'm talking about. There's even, a team in NXT, Pretty Deadly.
Yeah.
Those guys, Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Those guys, got that same feel to where they go out and, they do a lot of ha-ha. But then when they get in the ring, they could turn it on. And that's the part for me. I just wish they turned it on in the ring a little bit more. I just wish when they got in the ring, even less ha-ha, I don't care about ha-ha outside the ring, outside that square circle. I do not care, but when you get inside that square circle, you got to make the fans feel a certain something, especially when you're playing a role like that. So they're definitely in a position to where that role is only going to go as far as they carry it. That's it, seriously.
Well, we got time for one more, and we have one more. Super chat. This is from Cali Toenail, of course.
Give us some Roni, brother. Oh, yeah.
Cali Toenail says, so Sammy and KO hugged it out off what BT said a bit ago. The bloodline has to go together. So now I'm thinking the tag titles on the line for Sammy and KO at WrestleMania, and they'll get the win. It looks that way. And you know what? I would put that as a main event of one of the nights.
Man, I love this thing, man. I love the way this thing's playing out. Because, the bloodline, like they always say, blood's thicker than water. All right, I love the way the storyline was going as far as Sammy looking like he was gonna, change the Usos, mindset. And I loved it. And at the end of the day, they beat the hell out of him. Send him back. I'm serious, send him back to where he belongs. But the friendship with KO, the friendship with KO is something that's been there since day one. It's organic. It feels a certain way to the fans. It's almost like Goldust and Booker T. I love these guys. They just love them. So that's a story, that's gonna, it's gonna work no matter what. Put them in the main event, it'll be great. Put them on the show, it'll be great. But one thing we do know at the end of the day, Sami Zayn, he made himself throughout this storyline with the bloodline. And he done a hell of a good job making himself going out there. I think this is like some of the best acting that we've seen on the show in quite some time. The vignettes, stuff like that, the promo packages, it's just been great stuff. Really been great stuff. So
one of the best stories ever told on the show.
I agree 100%. So I'm just loving what this thing has done for the talent. At the end of the day, everybody won with this bloodline story.
I agree, Book. Well, man, this show's flown by. It's gone. We're done. Show's over, pal. I know you got NXT tomorrow. We'll be back though later this week. WrestleMania, which is a couple weeks away. BT.
Man, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to get to LA, dog. It's gonna be on like a Stephen Potter neck bones. I'm gonna be having I'm gonna have plenty of ship shirts at WrestleCon as well, guys. So make sure you come back. I ain't playing easy. Come pick you up one. I appreciate you, Bradley, for putting in all the work. All you super chatters, man. We appreciate you. Kelly Toenail. You the man, man. Got both shirts already. Guys, like I always say, man, I love you guys for stepping inside the Hall of Fame each and every week, getting your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. But right now, peace. We out of here.